Hey world, it's your host Marshall. Thanks for tuning into my podcast, Run On Thoughts. Here we talk about everything and nothing because we are not afraid to be all of ourselves even as we evolve. And that's my thought for my fellow thought thinkers as we unpack our traumas, past hurts, and other BS. Y'all ready? Let's go. Hey thought thinkers, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Run On Thoughts. I am so happy to be here this morning and go on another journey into our minds, into the unpacking, into the unlearning, because my goal is for all of us to be prepared to live the real life that we want to live. Before I begin today's episode, I want to stand in a place of gratitude and thank anyone who has been listening from the very beginning. And I want to thank anyone listening for the very first time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. With that, I welcome all of you to listen at runONthoughts.com to become a thought thinker, a person who is thoughtful about how they think. That is who we are. That is the goal. I want you to listen from any streaming service that you have and I want you to share and subscribe, and I want you to be your fullest self, and I want you to allow yourself to do the work. I know that over here we're not necessarily talking about people and other people because it doesn't matter what other people do, right? All of the work starts with you. Who you are, what you tolerate, what you don't tolerate. It's all about you. That is the goal. And with that, Today, I am excited for today's episode, the apology you owe yourself. Crazy, right? I've been thinking about this. The apology we owe ourselves. Have you ever apologized to yourself? No, seriously, thought thinkers, have you ever apologized to yourself for believing you weren't good enough? For shrinking to fit into spaces that were never built for you? For letting the lies the world told you to become the voice or voices in your head? Today, I want to dive into this idea of giving ourselves grace and the power attached to self-forgiveness and this grace that we often deny ourselves. Today's word is grace. No, seriously, because I realized when I chose the title, the apology that we owe ourselves, I realized that is grace. So what is grace? At its core, grace is the act of offering yourself or others compassion, kindness, and understanding, especially when it's hard to do so. I'm going to tell you guys something. I recognize that I do not offer as much grace as I should. And I'm going to think about that because I'm not sure if that's even true, but I got to unpack that in my own head first. But right, grace is the space between who you were. Listen to this, guys. Grace is the space between who you were and who you're becoming, and the love you give yourself while you grow. Grace is not perfection. It's not letting yourself off the hook. It's saying, I am still worthy even while I'm still working through it. Isn't that crazy? Even while you're still working through it. And the reason why that is so important is because that is why we're here. None of us are perfect. We have all allowed social structures and family ideologies to enter into our systems. And with that, we are not able to see and live and breathe and be our whole selves. And when you cannot be your whole selves, when you are unlearning and unpacking, and when you are doing the work, are you giving yourself grace? You're doing the work to become better. And while you're doing the work to become better, you're still blaming yourself for the past. Blame. It is okay to take accountability. It is actually necessary to take accountability in order to give yourself grace, in order to do the work, in order to move forward, in order to become your best self. You must have taken accountability. But when you take accountability, the work that you are doing to be a better person is that accountability. And that is why you deserve grace. Everybody don't deserve grace. You will never hear that from me. So I am talking to those of you and those of us who have taken accountability. It's crazy out here. It is crazy out here, the number of times and people that come into our spaces and places, and we are out here just feeling so full, and not full of joy, but full of the weight of the world that you are carrying, that we are carrying on this journey of life. And like I have often had a conversation with my sister, let it go. Give it back. It is not yours to carry. Especially some of you need to apologize to yourself for what other people have given to you. And for me, that is some sick shit. I'm quiet because I'm trying to think about all of you out there who have been carrying the blame and the shame that doesn't even belong to you. You've believed these lies for so long. Even if it's the truth, you've carried it for so long. You've made it your identity. It feels like your truth. Who are you? I know you're out there. I know you might be the very person that I am talking to. And I'm telling you, I'm mandating that you apologize. That you apologize to yourself, not to the world, not to God, not to a friend, but to yourself. How many times did I have to tell you guys that you deserve you today, in this moment? You deserve you. Because no one's harder on yourself than you are. And that is a real truth. We live in this, oh God, sometimes when I think about this world, we live in the world that teaches us to doubt. We live in a world that teaches us to compare, to shrink. And sometimes, without even realizing it, we internalize these messages and turn them into the script we live by. Your life shouldn't need a script. You should be allowed to be who you are, to explore who you are. But because of all of the things that we internalize, it's heavy. No, seriously, it's heavy. But I want you to tear up the goddamn script. I want you to decide in this moment to start again. I want you to give yourself grace with accountability, with truth, and with the fucking apology that you have deserved for a long time. It's crazy. Some of us think that apologizing to others is hard, but apologizing to ourselves, that might be diabolical. But there's a reason why your brain clings on to negative self-beliefs. There's a reason. Nothing happens by circumstance. We live in a world that wants you to see yourself through the lens of not being right so that it can try to fix you, and so that it can decide who you need to be, and so that it can have control over you. It is the they. And since we don't even know who the they are, I definitely don't want you to go another second with the core idea that you are not worthy of grace. Because you are worthy of grace. You are worthy of the apology that you need to give yourself. The human brain, our brains are wired for survival, not happiness. Isn't that crazy? My happiness is a choice. It's a decision. It is long hours of work and unpacking and figuring out which baggage needs to go on which journey. My happiness is a choice that I have decided to always carry in the baggage. Isn't that crazy? Not happiness. This means that it naturally holds on to negativity, especially shame and criticism, because it sees these as warnings to avoid danger or rejection. Over time, guys, these repeated thoughts become your beliefs. Repeated thoughts become beliefs. And then societal conditionings and personal trauma, and suddenly those thoughts become your identity. Guess what? Even if they're not fucking true, your brain is trying to survive. It is trying to keep you alive. It is doing its job. But we are humans who have adapted. We have TV. We have social structures. We have social media. We have other people. We have all of this societal conditioning and the trauma that many of us have experienced. But I want you to know that it is not your identity. It is not who you are. You get to make a choice. You get to make a different choice. You don't have to be who you've been, because who you've been is not really who you are. You are that way because of all of the shit. Shit stinks. And I want you to live a life of delightful smells and beauty. I want you to smell the roses. Why did I say that? I can't stand flowers. If all those of you who know me know that I do not like nature. I respect its beauty and power. But I don't like the smell of trees or grass or ants or bugs or none of that. But I respect its power. And I respect that I am connected to the source through it. And that's another thing. You're going to have to connect to the source, because there is going to be nothing harder than allowing yourself the grace and the space to do the work to become your best self and to change your thoughts. Just because you've thought it doesn't make it the truth. I've had this conversation with my sister many times, and many people think that anything going on inside their internal brain is the truth. It's not. It's not the truth. You are reacting to all of the shit. All of these things coming at you, and you are not armored in grace. You are not armored in self-forgiveness, and therefore you are allowing it to penetrate you. But it is not the truth. And I've shared this with you guys, that I believe that I used to have daddy issues. But as I have done the unpacking, I realized that I do not have daddy issues. My daddy had issues, and I am not going to carry his shame. What he was not able to do has no bearing on who I am. His lack of self-love that he shouldn't have been carrying from his daddy issues, he allowed that to internalize. But I am not going to internalize that. And what does that do for me? It takes up a heavy burden. I'm not going to carry somebody else's burden. I want you guys to give it back. Mommy issues, give it back. Your mother has issues. Give yourself the grace and the space to know who you are. And all of these isms, I talk about it: colorism, racism, capitalism, misogyny, phobias. All of these things, all of these systems of oppression and cultural norms distort your self-image. That is why it is so important to look in the mirror, apologize to yourself, and decide who you are without the voices and without the pictures of other people. And I know that there are people who don't like it, and guess what? They don't have to like it, and you don't have to care if they like it. You don't have to care. All of these stupid ass systems survive by making people feel unworthy or not enough. When you're constantly told you have to be thinner, quieter, that's the one that they use for me, guys, tougher, or more palatable to be worthy? To be fucking worthy? I am worthy because I am. But when you are constantly being told that you need to be worthy, you begin to view yourself through that distorted lens. These are not your core beliefs. You've borrowed them from systems designed to profit off of your fucking insecurity. Say to yourself, I hope some of you are standing in the mirror listening right now, and you say this truth: I am not broken. The system is. And we all know that the system is broken. You are not broken. You are a human. You are still here. You deserve you. You got to be honest with all the things that you have internalized, right? When you speak this apology to yourself, don't candy coat the shit. Start with some damn honesty. Tell yourself that you are sorry for not protecting you when you needed it the most. Sorry that you believe the world's lies instead of your own truth. Sorry that you didn't give yourself the grace to heal. Sorry for not forgiving yourself, for not knowing better at the time. Write it down, speak it. However, we all are different. Some of us need to write it down. Some of us need to speak it out loud. Some of us need to close our eyes and have a private conversation with our internal thoughts. Whatever the fuck you need to do, do it. Affirm yourself, but affirm with compassion. You deserve the grace. You deserve a safe space to be simply who you are. We all mess up. But how many times do I have to tell you guys that if you are learning the lesson, it is a blessing. Because once you have learned the lesson and allow it to become a blessing, you are now in a safe space to make negative into positive. Now you can set boundaries that honor your peace. And not just external peace. Some of you guys don't have peace inside. And that is why you are suffering on the outside, because you do not have internal peace. The struggle, most of the struggle is internal. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate your small wins like they're big. You guys know that I celebrate everything. And there are people who don't like that I celebrate everything. Why would I care what they like about my joy? Why would I care about what they dislike about my joy? Y'all want me to tell you a secret? Why the fuck are so many of you listening to outside voices from people who we know are not happy? They ain't happy. All those judgmental fuckers are not even happy. And yet you are taking your cues from the unhappy. I see them on social media bitter, yelling and screaming and talking over and under people, using all of their isms and thinking that they are right, but they are not even happy. Because when you are mean, you can't be happy. You are usually mad at yourself because you don't have the power or the strength or the grace to forgive yourself and be who you need to be for yourself. So listening to people who are not happy, apologize for that shit. No, seriously, apologize. Apologize for that shit. Isn't that some crazy shit? Apologize for that shit. I mean, I'm sitting here like, whoa. All these people judging me, judging the colors that I wear, judging the hair bows, judging my authenticity, judging that I always want to be in a state of celebration. So, why would my joy offend you? It's because you have adapted to the social construct. It's because you believe the shit. It's because you follow the they that you don't even know who the they are. And yet you are unhappy. They give you scraps and tell you to be grateful for it. They have you on a constant rat wheel of trying to be better than nothing. Nothing. They tell you that you need everything as a way to extract everything from you, even your soul, and especially your light. So many people use the fact that you don't love yourself. They see your light and they want to extract your light. Stop being hard on yourself. And I know some of you don't even realize it, but I'm going to tell you what you are doing. You downplay your accomplishments. I'm the shit, y'all. And I'm the shit because I say I'm the shit. I'm the shit because I do the work. Because I try to be the best self that I can be every day, even as I am evolving. Me knowing and understanding that I am the shit is the armor I carry out in this ugly fucking world. And that is what you need, guys, with the unpacking and knowing which baggage to carry on which trip. You are armoring yourself against the outside shit. Stop over apologizing for taking up space. I take up space. Not because I am trying to control the energy, but because I am myself. And when you are yourself in its fullness, you will automatically take up space, because the goal of society is to make you feel small by making you not believe in yourself. So for those of us who believe in ourselves and understand and live in our truth, that is the space that you take up. You are space. The space is you. Right? Stop telling yourself that you are not enough or that you should have. You should have what? You are enough. Accept the compliments. When someone says I'm pretty, thank you. I've talked about this too. I want to talk about it quickly. Validation. I can accept your compliment because I know who I am. But if you say something crazy to me, I know how to use my armor to bounce that off as well. Because when you rely on people for validation, those same people now have the power to devalue you. So nothing, y'all say, can stop me from believing who I am. So if you got something nice to say about me, beautiful. And if you got something not nice to say about me, beautiful? Beautiful? I guess. I guess. I guess. I don't know what to tell people. But I know one thing you better do. Stop just saying sorry to everybody else. Because what about you? You matter. I want you to stand in the mirror and confront the lies that you have believed, the grace that you withheld from yourself, and the pain that you have carried that was never yours to begin with. I said this, rewrite the script. Throw away the fucking script. Just be. Be yourself. Unlearn the shame. Forgive yourself. Yourself. They constantly tell you to forgive those who trespass. Fuck that. Forgive yourself so that you can become a better person, so that you can see the darkness coming at you, so that you can be your own superhero in your own story. Yes, all the things that we unpack, they go together. You are important. You are special. Everything about us is important. If you got to wake up and self-apologize every morning, if you got to give yourself daily grace affirmations, you are your own power. And you have to remind yourself that you are not broken. You get to rebuild. You get to be the self that God, the universe, whatever you believe in or not believe in, you get to come back to your full self. You get to come back to your full self. I know this sounds crazy. I know this sounds crazy. I'm quiet because I'm realizing that when I am talking to you guys, I am talking to myself. We are a family. And I know that sometimes the concepts and the ideas that I am talking about are heavy. I know that it's not easy. Change is not easy. Change is the hardest thing that you will ever have to do. It's the reason why I don't talk about other people in this podcast, because we can judge others, but truthfully, all of the work that we have to do is internal. But I want you guys to know you are not the voice that broke you. You are the one who gets to rebuild you. I'm tired of talking to you guys. Bye.